Hi everyone, my name is Sybil Meriveles, and for my mini teach back today, I will be discussing Chapter 1, What is an Effective Teacher? So here are the list of norms for today's presentation. Please show up on time. Second, dress appropriately, nothing too showy. 3, be respectful to everyone in this presentation. 4th, turn on your cameras. And 5th, be an active participant of this presentation. So as much as possible, try and participate in the activities and also don't hesitate to ask any questions if you have any. All right, now we're gonna go over the bell work. I'm gonna give you guys 5 minutes to work on this question, this prompt. List 3 positive expectations you believe effective teachers should have of students. Okay, go ahead and pause, take a moment to read it again, and work on the prompt. All right, now that you guys have completed the bell work, we're gonna go over the student learning outcomes, which is the SLO. So by the end of this presentation, you guys will be able to define an effective teacher, list the 3 characteristics of an effective teacher, understand how to set positive expectations, create and establish a successful classroom environment, and instruct in a way that leads to student mastery. All right, so before we go over what it means to be an effective teacher, let's define what it means to be effective. So, to be effective means doing things right consistently to produce successful results. So, an example of an someone being effective is a hairdresser, your favorite hairdresser. You tend to visit them because you know that they'll always meet your expectations and how you want your hair to be cut or fixed. All right, now that we understand what effective means, let's go ahead and define what it means to be an effective teacher. So, an effective teacher not only impacts their students, but they also teach them to do the right things consistently in the classroom. So this means that an effective teacher knows the following. Number 1, what to do on the first day of school. 2, how to manage a classroom. 3, how to create a collaborative environment, like having a group group setting where the students are engaged with each other. And then 4, how to encourage active participation, wherein some students ask questions or volunteer to answer questions. And then 5th, how to assess student learning. All right, now let's go over the characteristics, the 3 characteristics of an effective teacher. Number 1, an effective teacher has positive expectations of their students and of themselves. Next, they have excellent classroom management skills. And third, they know how to design lessons for student mastery. So when we say positive expectations, and an effective teacher believes in their students is an example of having a positive expectation. Not only they believe in their students, but they also believe in themselves, that they will be able to succeed in teaching the student. So an example of a positive expectation is to your right. A simple phrase such as saying, I believe in you, and I I already see your success is a great way of setting positive expectation to students. All right, next let's go over classroom management. So classroom management is an integral part of being an effective teacher. Effective teachers implement it to manage the classroom environment effectively. It mainly consists of procedures. So to your right again, as you can see, these are the classroom rules or procedures of what is an example of procedures that an effective teacher would implement in the classroom. All right, take your time to look through it. All right. Next, we're going to go over lesson mastery. So let's talk about the definition of lesson mastery first. So it is when students demonstrate excellent comprehension and proficiency on a topic. In other words, they have a clear understanding of what they're learning in the classroom. So in order to achieve student mastery, teachers do the following. Number one, they design lessons that are engaging to the students. Two, they create and implement lesson plans. Three, they use a rubric to assess the students' learning. And they deliver corrective action if necessary. All right, let's go ahead and pause again and take 10 minutes of our time to work on a warm-up activity. All right, so in your own words, why must effective teachers possess those three characteristics? Remember the positive, setting positive expectations, um, having good classroom management skills, and also designing lesson plans um, to achieve student mastery, those things. Why must effective teachers possess those three characteristics? Go ahead and take 10 minutes of your time, read the question carefully, and answer the prompt. All right, so now that we have gone over the warm up, we're going to go over the main activity. So I'm going to introduce a scenario and then I will give you guys a task. Okay, so this scenario is during a lecture, a teacher notices two students whispering about a topic unrelated to the lesson. And, and as a result, they end up distracting the rest of the class. So here's the task. First, divide yourselves into small groups and on a piece of paper, write down what you think the effective teacher should do in this scenario using the three characteristics of an effective teacher. Go ahead and read below the questions below, read it carefully, and answer those following questions. All right, that should be 15 minutes of your time. Go ahead and answer the prompt. All right, everyone, great job on completing the activities. By now, you guys should be able to define what an effective teacher is and name the three characteristics of an effective teacher. I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to provide your answers. All right, you ready? Okay, so an effective teacher instructs students to do things right consistently. And what are the three characteristics of an effective teacher? Well, an effective teacher has positive expectations of their students and themselves. Next, they have excellent classroom management skills that consists of procedures. And three, they are experts in designing lessons for student mastery. All right, guys, this is my reference. If you guys want to know more about my presentation, you can go ahead and read through chapter 1 of this book. Go ahead and take your time to read it. All right, and thank you so much for watching and participating in the activities. Um, I hope that you guys were able to, or I hope that you guys are confident enough to know what it means to be an effective teacher. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye.